Alright, today I'm going to be showing you how to install a linear GoControl remote garage door opener. This is just a unit that connects to your smart home system, any Z-Wave system like Samsung Smartthings or such, and allows you to control your garage doors with your smart home system. So let's get started. So the first step is going to be we need to mount this contact. It's just a piece of this is just a bracket for the door contact. Just peel off the adhesive, and it's got an arrow telling you which way to mount it. So you can mount this at the top of the door, which is recommended, or you can mount it at the bottom of your garage door. The difference is if it's at the top, it's going to signal that the door is open much quicker. So here's the actual unit, and to get started, you just pull this tab out so that the battery basically makes contact. Once you do that, you snap it in the bracket. So if you were to mount this at the bottom of the garage door, since the garage door would take longer to tilt the switch, it would take longer before it sensed the door being open. So at the top, it'll sense the door being open really quickly, even if it's only partially open. Whereas if you mount it at the bottom, it's really not going to say the garage door is open until it's fully open. So I'm just going to put the unit up here, and I'm going to mark these 4 holes with my screwdriver. And I'm mounting this on the ceiling right next to it. I happen to have a power outlet on the ceiling above mine. Everybody doesn't, but it's perfect. A lot of houses do now. And then I'm just going to, these are 3/16 inch holes I'm drilling. It's all in the instruction manual. So I'm just drilling these holes because this is sheetrock I have. And the recommended mounting installation method is to drill 3/16 inch holes and put these these plastic anchors in. So tap the plastic anchors in gently. You do not want to hit them hard, or they will bend and kind of snap to the side, and you'll ruin them. So just tap them in real easy. If they're too tight going in, just take your drill and kind of wallow the hole out a little bit more. So once you get those in, then we're just going to mount the unit up here. So it's just got 4 screws. It comes with all the hardware you need. So I'm just going to hand tighten that screw in to get it started, and then use the drill to finish off the other 4. You really want this mounted on your ceiling as well. I don't recommend you mount it to these metal brackets that you see, just because the white part that says Go Control in the middle, that is a flashing light that flashes for a few seconds. When you activate it, it's a warning to let people know the door is about to open or close. So you really want it mounted on the ceiling for safety, so that the light is much more visible. It also beeps, so it's pretty hard to not know that it's about to activate. So once you get mounted and nice and tight to the ceiling, I'm just gonna unhook the wire, and I'm just gonna kind of run it through some of these holes. Really, there's no right or wrong way. You just want it to make sure the wire is out of the way. No chance of it getting caught up, but you need to run this wire all the way down to your actual garage door motor that you see right here. And then I'll show you how to wire it up on this one. But just make sure it's wired up and not going to get caught in the chain or anything. That's really the most important part. So back up here, I'm going to unplug my garage door. Like I said, thankfully I have a just an outlet on the ceiling. If you don't, it's going to be a little more complicated. You're going to either have to hardwire this in or create an outlet. So I'm just going to take the plate off, and then the little power plug, the power adapter that comes with this is perfect, because you just plug it in, and it's got a hole that you then reinsert the screw that was holding your outlet plate on. And now the screw holds the plate on, as well as the power adapter. That way there's no chance of it falling out of the ceiling. These are almost always mounted on the ceiling. So I'm going to just kind of tie up the wire, the cabling for the power supply. That way it's not dangling down as well. And I'm just going to use a little zip tie here. You can use whatever works for you. Like I said, you just don't want it hanging down to get caught in the garage door, should that happen. And now let's go down and wire it up to the garage door. Everybody's different, so if you have some questions about yours, just please post. I'm happy to help you. But on mine, the red and white connectors are for the door control switch. So these wires that I'm removing, I'm just taking a flat screwdriver and pushing the orange tab. Those wires that I'm removing actually run to the little switch on the wall that activates the garage door. The brown and white you see over there, they run to the door sensor that stops the door if somebody breaks that beam. So those aren't the ones you want to work with. It's usually the red and white, but if you don't know, look up your manual or just post, and I'll try to help you. So I'm just taking the wire from the remote controller there, and I'm putting it in the hole along with the wire from the switch that was originally there. So I'm just sticking both in there at the same time, pushing the tab and making sure the wires are seated nice and tight. And that's about it. Once you get that finished, just go through the pairing mode, which depends on what type of system you have, and all of them are different. But if you have some questions, post below, and I'll do my best to help. Thanks. See you next time.